What is happening, everybody? MG here, MGCovers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, How to Profit from Competitive Form in Sports Betting. Very educational video. I'm going to give you 3 examples from 3 different sports. Very educational, so applicable to sports betting in general. Before we do that, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Had a ton of growth here from that last 2 videos. Greatly appreciate the support. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, MGCovers, cover spelled with a Z. Give out a ton of free content on there as well. So you get a lot of value simply by following me on Instagram, and same screen name on Twitter. Okay, let's talk about what competitive form is. Now, as you know, form in general, you want to wager on teams that are in good form. For example, let's say a team has won 4 out of their last 5 games and they have a losing record in whatever sport. Well, they're in good form and probably they'll be priced as a dog. Whereas you might have a team that has a winning record, but they've only won 1 of their last 5 games. So they might be priced as a heavy favorite, but it might be a good opportunity to take advantage playing against that team. So that's what we understand about form. Now, competitive form, you see this in every sport at the end of the year. Teams that clinch early. In baseball, you'll see it, especially in long seasons like NHL basketball. A lot of times what that team will do, they'll rest a lot of the players preparing for the playoffs. So they're not in competitive form. They're playing a lot of games that are insignificant at the end of the season, as opposed to the teams that are still playing, quote, competitive baseball, competitive basketball, etc. So let me give you an example. We'll look at baseball. The Atlanta Braves clinched the playoffs on September the 10th. Now, granted, they still wanted to win the division, but that was starting the decline of competitive form. So they clinched. They were in the playoffs September 10th. That's almost a month ago, more than a month ago, started the decline of competitive baseball. And again, granted, they wanted to win the division, but irregardless of what happened, they were still going to be in the playoffs. Baltimore Orioles, Tampa Bay clinched on the same day, September the 17th. So that's when both of those teams ended their, quote, competitive edge for playing competitive baseball. Arizona Diamondbacks, Texas Rangers did not clinch until September the 30th. So Braves, Orioles, and Tampa not playing competitive baseball. Arizona, Texas were in competitive form for the entire month of September. They were scrapping and clawing. So if you look on the page in front of me here, we're showing the games from October the 3rd, Tuesday. Now, this is on a Tuesday. So Arizona and Texas literally clinched 3 days before on that Saturday. So they clinched on a Saturday, played one more game on Sunday. They had an off day on Monday, and boom, playoffs started on Tuesday. And look what happens. And look at what the price was for Texas and Arizona. Texas were huge dogs against Tampa, plus 138, blew them out. Arizona wins 6-3, and this is the point I want to make about competitive form. As professional athletes, it's and you can relate this to your own life, whether you're playing golf or maybe you're in a softball league and you haven't played, I don't know, in a month, and it's impossible to go full throttle. And it's the same deal in baseball, basketball, whatever the sport is, golf. If you haven't played at a high level competitively, it's hard to turn that switch on. It just is. Whereas the teams that have played competitively, if I'm saying that right, it's better for them to keep it going, to stay in that, quote, competitive form. So Texas plus 138, Arizona plus 144. Wins there. Again, Texas underdogs again at plus 128. Arizona underdogs at plus 108. They win. Let's move on to Saturday. You have Texas again, plus 114. And now we introduce Atlanta and Dodgers. I didn't put the Dodgers down there, but they clinched probably similar to the Braves. So you have Atlanta who, quote, clinched a playoff spot September 20th, playing the first, quote, competitive game. And this particular date was October 7th. They scored 0 runs, had 6 hits. And look at the price. Philadelphia was plus 176, and then going up there to Texas plus 114. Slide over to the bottom right. Look at Arizona, plus 164, playing competitive baseball, going right in there, and after beating Milwaukee, playing a very, very, very cold Dodgers team, plus 164, and won that. Let's go over to Sunday, October the 8th. There's Texas. They priced them a little bit differently there. They were minus 108. They won that one. Now, Atlanta did win this one, but they were lucky. They had to come back late and win that one. Look at Arizona Dodgers. Arizona priced at plus 134, beat the Dodgers. Let's go over here to Tuesday. Texas was the favorite there, and they won. And, of course, Wednesday, there's Philly there at minus 130. Win over Atlanta. A little bit better pitching matchup was why the money was priced that way. Look at Arizona, plus 120 over the Dodgers. And then we go to last night, Philly at plus 128. Braves had 5 hits. Now, understand this about the Atlanta Braves. They clinched on September the 10th. The Atlanta Braves, this particular team, will go down as the best hitting team in franchise history. They hit more home runs than any other team. I think they hit more home runs than any other team in the history of baseball. And basically were blown out by the Phillies. Competitive form is very, very important, and it's something that you can take advantage of in this sport. So what in this business? So what you want to look for, teams that are not in competitive form. So that's the baseball example. Let's slide over to the NHL example. Now, this is absolutely fascinating because I remember when this went down. And just to give you some context, let's look at the 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning. This team, a lot of people would argue, was one of the best regular season teams at the time. They tied, can't remember who was it. They tied Detroit for the most regular season wins in NHL history. So one of the best regular season teams of all time. The team that they were playing in the first round, Columbus Blue Jackets, the 8th seed, a team that was playing competitive hockey this entire time at the end of the season, well after Tampa Bay had clinched and was in the playoffs. And you already see the writing on the wall. Columbus came into this series huge, huge underdogs. First game was April 10th. You can see there, Columbus wins 4-3. Next game, Columbus wins 5-1. They're up 2-0 in the series. They go to Columbus. Columbus, huge underdogs. I don't have the money line for this. I looked for it quickly but couldn't find it. But they were huge dogs, probably plus 150, maybe even plus 200 those first couple games. Up 3-1, and then they close it out 7-3. Why did this happen? Competitive form. Tampa had clinched. They hadn't played competitive hockey. You have a team like Columbus was in competitive form the entire end of the regular season and took advantage of it and continued that competitive form and ended up sweeping the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let me give you a golf example. This just happened with the Ryder Cup. Even if you don't know anything about golf, I can break it down and make you understand it very simple. The U.S. team had not played, the majority of the team, probably 70% of the team, had not played competitive golf in 5 weeks. I think they had 3 players that played some tournaments. So 70% of the team had not played competitive golf in 5 weeks. The European team, all 12 of their players played in the BMW Championship 2 weeks prior to the Ryder Cup. All 12 players played 2 weeks. Guess who was the underdog in the Ryder Cup? European team. And the European team absolutely destroyed the American team. Huge win. So, short video, but the concept to look for is teams that have clinched. You can do this in NBA, you can do it in NHL, and obviously it works in Major League Baseball. You're going to look for teams that have clinched early but have not been in competitive form, and then look and see if the team that they're playing is in competitive form, like we saw with Philadelphia, we saw with Texas. I mean, Texas may win the whole thing in baseball, Arizona. So when you have that, the market will price the, quote, better team. Why? Because they look better on paper. Same deal with Tampa. Oh, this Tampa is one of the greatest teams in franchise history. True, but the point was they were not in competitive form. So I hope this video helped. If you want access to all my lines for all sports, $49.95 per month. You also get access to all my coaching videos. I think we have about 230, I think it's 237 coaching videos on the website, only available to clients. If you're interested in learning how to build stat models, have a program for that, there's a link in the description. You can click on that to get more info, get access to all my plays. $100 a month, link to join the description box. Like this video, subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Peace. What is happening, everybody? MG here, MG